Hey everyone, welcome to the Christ Pearls channel. This is Jessica, and really quickly I just wanted to post a very short video with an update from Michael B. Rush. He basically provided a quick update on his channel regarding his feelings about the Ezra's eagle prophecy, the way that he was interpreting it. So right now where we're at is feathers 3 and 4 on the short wing. These are all short feathers, and it's believed under Michael Rush's interpretation that Trump and Vance would be feathers 3 and 4 because in terms of succession, that is the order that presidents would go from this point. So Michael explained in his update video, it's about 35 minutes, you can check it out on his channel. He adds other commentary besides just Ezra's eagle. He kind of gives his whole perspective on secret combinations in general. But just with regard to Ezra's eagle, he explained why he believes that this prophecy has an expiration date of Inauguration Day, which is coming up next week. And the main reasoning for this is that in 2nd Ezra chapter 11, there are some phrases that are worded a certain way. So if you look here at 2nd Ezra chapter 11, and you look at verse 26 through 31, which is talking about these next two short feathers on that puny short wing, it says, "And I beheld, and lo, there was one set up, but shortly it appeared no more. And the second was sooner away than the first. And I beheld, and lo, the two that remained thought also in themselves to reign. And when they so thought, behold, there awakened one of the heads that were at rest, namely it that was in the midst, for that was greater than the two other heads. And then I saw that the two other heads were joined with it. And behold, the head was turned with them that were with it, and did eat up the two feathers under the wing that would have reigned." All of the key phrases are highlighted here. Shortly it appeared no more is important. Michael felt that this means that it's not going to come back into power. And then the sooner away than the first seems to have actually happened because Trump is still going at this point. And so Biden's out. Biden is sooner away than Trump at this point. But the other key phrases are thought and would have reigned, because this implies that they're thinking that they're going to come into office and begin a new administration, but they don't. And they don't because of the intervention of these eagle heads, the middle one taking the power first out of the three. So this was his feeling that this means that he cannot be inaugurated and begin a new administration because in his view, it goes against what the wording of this prophecy is. However, he noted that this is the Apocrypha, and according to Doctrine and Covenants, the Lord told Joseph Smith when he had asked whether or not to translate it that he didn't need to translate it because there are many things in it that are true, but also many things that are not true. And as far as knowing what's true and not true, well, that's kind of up in the air. Nobody really knows for sure, so it could mean anything, and it would be difficult to identify what specifically is not true. That's one reason that hindsight is easier than foresight on these types of things. So he also shared several other feelings. You can go check out his video on his channel. I'm not going to explain all that. I just wanted to provide a quick update on where he was at with this and why he believes that Inauguration Day is the expiration date for the way that this is currently worded. So as written, if Trump were to get sworn in and begin a new administration, he thinks that this doesn't match up with the way that this prophecy is written. He's using the KJV Apocrypha for his interpretation. My personal feeling on Ezra's eagle is more that it's just intriguing. It's interesting the way that he interpreted it and applied it to America. He said he still believes that it applies to America, but it's possible that it's not translated correctly. It's possible that there are some things in it that aren't quite right. So hindsight's 2020. I'm not really sure what to think about it. I don't place it very high on my list of priorities, but it is intriguing. And for that reason, I've kind of just paid attention and just watched waited to see what happens, and that's kind of where I'm at still. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. My personal opinion is I don't think that some of these other interpretations where people have tried to twist it into something different than the way Russia's interpreting it have made much sense to me. I see little errors with that. I don't even really know if this is about America. There are other interpretations that it applies more on a world scope that also makes some sense. And then again, it could be that it applied at a certain point in time. I've done a video on the Roman interpretation, and there was really only one that made sense, and it lined up this exact same way. And it was pulling from two different periods in Roman history, and to me it seemed more allegorical, like perhaps if it did apply to that period in time, it's clear that it also applies in the last days, because it literally says twice in the prophecy that it's talking about the last days, and Rome was nowhere near the last days. So if Rome was a type, then it sort of spoke to me in an allegorical way, meaning that whatever happened during those two periods of Roman history, it's possible that something like that happens again in the last days. Whether it's in America or on a world scope, I'm not sure. But again, hindsight's 20/20, and we know that we live in the last days. So my feeling on it is just kind of keeping an open mind. It's intriguing, it's interesting, and that's about the extent of it for me. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are if you have any, and I guess we'll see what happens in about a week from now is Inauguration Day. So we'll know if Russia's interpretation holds up or not.